Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Today we're talking about Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode number 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the next morning for the girls' trips, the 2 separate girls' trips. In the Big Bear house, they kind of show you like the house, and the house is really trashed because they just had a fun night, and there's bear costumes everywhere, and there's food and garbage. Jenn and Katie are talking, no, Tamra and Jenn are talking about how Alexis, Tamra, and Jenn are talking about how they like Katie and how they're going to try and figure out how to make it right between her and Heather, which
I wonder how that's going to turn out, quite honestly.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to me.
It will be interesting. And then we see Jenn is drinking coffee in the morning, and Alexis has her Red Bull, and Jenn asks her, are you a Red Bull person or a coffee person? And Alexis goes into this tangent about her period. I don't even know what she was talking about.
Me neither, but it was not relevant. It went on way too long, and she never answered the question.
Right. And she was only talking about herself. Like, that's all. That's all she does is talk about herself and Johnny J. Like, that's that's all she talks about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shannon, which is, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then we switch over to the Quinta house the next morning, and the ladies are in the kitchen and they're making breakfast, and they have all these fruits, and they're cutting up the pineapple and the strawberries. And then Shannon comes in with these 2. I don't even know what was in those pans. I think it was something she maybe cooked outside, but she puts them on the counter and she says, you can't touch these pans. I just burnt my hand on them. They're really hot. And she's got a pot holder and she puts the one down. And then someone says, well, can they be on the counter? And she's like, I don't know. And then she grabs the hot pan again. I was like, oh my God, poor Shannon. And honestly,
of course it can't be on the counter.
I know. I know.
Come on. It looked like the bread they bring you at like an Indian restaurant.
Yeah, like a naan.
Yes, to me, that's what it looked like.
It did look like something like that, but we never saw them eat it. Like, I didn't even see it make it to the table. So maybe she was taking them out of the oven. I don't even know where she was taking them out of. I don't know why
they don't go on the counter. You moron.
Right.
Fun.
And then what happened? Then Shannon tells the ladies that she didn't have the intention of bringing up the whole John Jansen thing at Gina's dinner. She didn't plan on telling them that, John was coming after her for money. She wasn't going to bring that conversation up.
Oh, Shannon,
yes.
I was going to say bullshit, but I thought we were talking about Alexis. No,
Shannon tells the ladies that, and she says, I'm already paying my attorney to deal with this because, the ladies are trying to give her advice. Like, why don't you just offer him a settlement?
And what Emily said, like, try to use a mediator.
Right.
Which, I mean, I know people who've gotten divorced through mediators without paying an attorney, which is great.
Right. Exactly. But, we find out later in the episode, I'll just jump to this part because we're talking about it. So when she's talking to Tamra at the end, she says that her attorney did offer a settlement, and he said he's not going to take it if it's 1 cent less than the $75,000, and he wants her to come up with a payment plan. And, that's crazy.
So
it's just awful. Crazy. It really is. It really is. And then we also see in the coming attractions that something is going to happen where Shannon says that he wanted her to sign something and she's not lying. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know.
I don't know. What was the one thing we knew she wanted him to sign?
A non-disparagement agreement that he wouldn't talk bad about her.
And he won't sign it.
He won't sign that. So he wanted her to sign something that she refused to sign because if she did, she would be lying.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess hopefully we'll find out what that's about.
And we know now, who did they say it in the episode, or is this something that's just online that the videos they have is of her trying to run over his daughter?
No, they said that. They said that in the episode.
Okay.
It's the Ring doorbell video. I don't know. And Alexis keeps
I don't
going
believe
on.
that.
No.
I don't believe that.
No. I don't either. I don't.
I just hope it's not true.
No, I hope it is. I hope it's not true either. And then we see them when she's talking to the ladies, Heather and Gina and Emily. She's very vulnerable. She's going through a lot, and the ladies really embrace her. They let her know that they're going to be there for her. You could see that they, they're going to support her no matter what happens with this. And I was really happy to see that because she even said like she's never felt this supported before.
Yeah.
she needs it. She needs a friend. She needs a break. And I think that she's really handling herself very well. I really do.
Oh, I totally agree. I think this is her redemption season. I think that she turned a bad situation into, like a self-improvement. Like she's really working on herself. And the best part is that she's gotten herself to a healthy place where she's so done with him. Because I think in the past they've broken up, got back together, broken up, got back. Like it does seem like she's so healthy now that obviously she'll never get back together with him now because of the whole Alexis thing. But even that aside, I think she's healthy enough to be like, you know what, this is not good for me.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And then we see Jenn is talking about her relationship with Will and her ex, I don't know. Are they divorced yet? Ex.
I think just recently, but not at the time.
Not when they're talking about it, but yeah. Right. And he's with this girl, Laura, who they've been together for 3 years, we find out. And Laura used to be her friend and her interior designer, which I think is interesting because everyone was trying to paint the picture that she was the one that was cheating.
Oh, I think she was. Why did they intimate that maybe he was seeing her before?
Well, I mean, they've been together 3 years, which isn't that how long they at that point had been broken up?
I don't know. Right. Like if it wasn't going on before, it was going on shortly thereafter.
Right.
Yeah. It didn't take long for him to bounce back, which proves her point that we weren't happily married.
Right.
If you can move on that quickly, then we weren't happy.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then when Tamra pulls up his Instagram and shows her that video, like, again, it's like Tamra sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. You could see she was upset.
Could you imagine if somebody had done that to her, like with Simon, like back in the day when that first she wouldn't have liked that very much.
No, she wouldn't. Gina, for whatever reason, it just recently came out online, like what her settlement was with Matt. I have no idea why it came out online.
Yeah.
But she fought hard for her relationship with Matt. They went to counseling together so that they could co-parent. It didn't come easy. It did not come easy. Right. So I think that Gina is going to hopefully kind of try and like guide Jenn to, get that relationship with her ex so that they can co-parent peacefully and that it's not so tense,
Right.
Then what else happens? Once again, when Jenn starts crying about what's going on when she sees the video, then Tamra starts crying and brings it back around to her about her relationship with her daughter.
Tamra crying with no tears. Never once saw a tear drop from her eyes. She's so phony. It's so phony. As soon as she starts crying, I'm like, oh, I just want to turn the channel. It's not real.
And she just has to bring it back to her. Always, it has to go back to her.
For sure.
It's very frustrating to watch her.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see Emily and Gina. They're going out to play pickleball, and they never had their conversation the night before because Heather kind of hijacked it. So Gina says to Emily, we need to talk. And Gina says, like, I was upset. I know you're upset with me. And Emily's like, yeah, because I heard you were talking bad about me. Like, you were talking about me. If you have a problem with me, like, I'm your best friend. Come to me about it.
Right.
And, listen, I think that Gina and Emily have a real sincere friendship. I think that that's for sure. I think that Gina was overwhelmed with the situation, the Heather situation, Emily getting closer to Tamra never, ever really being nice to Gina, ever. Not that she was as mean as she is to Shannon, but she was never like, embracing her, ever.
No. And she wasn't to Emily either in the beginning.
No, she was not.
At all.
No, she wasn't. So I could see where Gina would be a little bit insecure about that relationship. She was having a hard time with Heather. This new girl, Katie, came in who she wasn't really friends with. I mean, she kind of knew her and she was the one introducing her, but it just wasn't going well.
No.
And coupled with everything that was going on with her and Travis, it just was too much. It was too much. So, they kind of hug it out, which is good. I'm glad that they could, they were able to figure it out. But there's a couple things that were said, and I just started laughing. Like Emily said to her, on the totem pole friendship, you're on the top, which I thought was, like letting Gina know that, you know, you're I'm always going to be there. Like, you are my friend. And, you know, they were crying. And then you see cut to Heather and Shannon are inside, and they're yelling. Actually, they're outside at this point because she leaves the court, and the sprinklers are on, and she's trying to get in the house, and there's no way to get in the house. It's
and
like
they're like, should we go out there? Should we go out there?
Right.
Heather's like, should I go hijack another conversation?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they talking about me? Because if not, let me go out there and make sure they are.
And then Gina's, when she's crying, she's like, you know, I see like what happened with Tamra and Shannon, and Emily's like, listen, that's not us. They're two dysfunctional nut jobs. And she just like, you're right, they're fucked up.
And I love when they were walking back in, and they're like, are you coming back out? And Emily's like, yeah, we'll be back out. She's like, we come back out.
And Heather's like, why do I not believe you? Oh, yeah, we'll be back out. No, we're not coming back out.
We're not coming back out.
But that's the stuff about Emily I like, you know.
Absolutely.
That's the stuff about Emily I like. Then Alexis is on the phone again with John Jansen. Actually,
we've seen more of John Jansen, who doesn't want the spotlight this season than we did the 3 years he was with Shannon, or 4 or 5 years, however the hell long they were together.
Yep. And she's saying that she's going to lose it. And then she starts crying.
Oh, my God.
Another one, like laying on the bed crying, how it's so much for her. What is so much for you?
Yeah. What is it for you? It's got nothing to do with you, except that you're making it about you, which is Shannon's point, which is probably why he's suing her.
Yeah. I just can't handle Alexis. Alexis and Tamra, like, give them their own show. Let those two go off and do what they want to do. Because honestly, the two of them are driving me crazy.
They're awful.
They really are. They really are.
They're making the show not fun and unwatchable. You know, like the other one we all know. Like, it's just not fun to watch them. And you know, Tamra's big thing is, oh, she's a good housewife because she moves storylines along. That's what Tamra's job is, to move storylines along. That's why she's pulling up Jen's ex-husband's Instagram, because she wants to push that storyline along. Get your own fucking storyline. If your kids talk to you, maybe you could have them on, but they want nothing to do with you. Only the one.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they're back from their vacations, and Tamra goes over to Gina's house, and we see Gina's in the middle of remodeling the kids' bedrooms, and she's kind of got like a construction scene over at her house.
What is she doing? She took the wall down between the two bedrooms to make it one big bedroom?
I don't think so. I think she was putting in built-in bunk beds before they had like freestanding bunk beds. I think she was building like a nook bunk. Okay. I don't know. I mean, like I said, the kids are getting older, so I would not be putting something permanent in. That's just me, but.
Right. Well, it seems like it's a 3-bedroom condo, right? So she's got 1 bedroom, and then I guess her oldest wanted his own room, right? And then the 2 younger ones are going to share,
right?
So,
and I guess before it was 3 in one room and 3 in the other room, which is a lot. It's a lot. It really is.
I mean, that's like having 3 kids in one of my kids' bedroom. My kids' bedrooms aren't big,
right?
You know, it's okay because they have their own bedroom. So Tessa's is now with what we did with the kitchen, but you know, Joe's room's not that big, but it's his room and it's just him in there.
Right.
But I can't imagine 3 kids trying to share that room.
I know. I can't either.
Yeah. But I mean, don't get me wrong. You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do.
Right.
But I understand her making the choice she made. I
do too. And I know it wasn't an easy choice for her to make. I give her credit.
Especially on the kids, because they do seem like they're very, very close, those kids.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
Like truly like step siblings.
Yeah. And I mean, he moved right down the street, so that's good. They're still going to see each other. Like they're in the same neighborhood. Yeah. Which is good. Yeah. So the whole reason that she came over is so that they can talk about what happened on each other's trips. And when Gina first starts talking, she starts talking about Shannon and how upset she was. And Tamra's first question, was she drinking? Like, come on.
Get off of it, Tamra. Seriously, get off of it. It's stupid. It's stupid. You look stupid now.
Yep. And then Gina says yes. And then Tamra gets back on her high horse and says she's an alcoholic. She calls her an alcoholic again. And Gina says, listen, I didn't stop drinking when I got my DUI. And then Tamra says, well, you didn't have a drinking problem. And she said, no, I did have a drinking problem. I did.
She said, I'm not an alcoholic, but I had a problem with drinking. And the two can be, what is that saying?
Like, two can be true. Right. Both can be true.
Both can be true.
Right. And, you know, she's saying that she's got to stop, like, doing that. Like, that's just antagonizing Shannon by saying something to her every time she has. You are not her mother. Stop. Right. Just stop pushing this storyline.
Right.
I don't know. I was very upset with Tamra this whole episode.
She's just mean. She's just mean.
She really is mean.
She's only doing it for the show.
Right.
And that makes it even worse. Like, you're not doing it because you truly care about Shannon. No, you're just not. Stop saying it.
Right. She doesn't care about Shannon, because if she did, she wouldn't be doing this.
No, she keeps saying it's coming from a good place. It's coming from a good place. No, it's not.
No, it's not. And then we see Emily meets up with Katie, and Emily brings her twins to be Katie's son. And
that was cute.
That was cute. That was cute. So that they could catch up on their version of, you know, what happened. Yeah. And Katie tells Emily about Alexis, saying that I'm just calling him JJ from now on, because I really don't even.
How about jerk off? Can we call him that? You don't want to say that, do you?
You can. I'm going to call him J.
All right. I'm going to call him J.O.
Okay. There you go. And they'll know who we're talking about.
They will.
Is fed up, and he's going to release the video footage. And that's where we find out that it is from the Ring camera and what it is. And listen, that's disturbing. That's very disturbing. Stop making threats. You know, stop making threats. If you're going to release it, release it. I mean, enough already. Like, enough.
Right.
And what are you going to get? What are you going to get from this? Like, what are you going to get from this? Has nothing to do with your lawsuit.
No.
She was already arrested for a DUI. So what is it you're going to get from this?
Right.
You're going to have a video.
Honestly, you want her to go to jail? Because she might, if you release it. If it truly shows like intent to harm, she could, I don't know if she'll go to jail, but she'll get in trouble. But she was under the influence. She was heavily under the influence. I would believe that she has learned her lesson, and that will never happen again.
Yeah, I believe so too. And then we see Jenn and Ryan going in the spa together, and she's, you know, they're getting their their pedicures, which I think is hysterical. I can't imagine. I just can't.
I know Eric would never do that with me, and that's okay. But I think it was cute that he did that with her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, some guys would, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And she's telling him about the OnlyFans.
Oh, he did not like that.
He's like, no, you're not doing that.
She said, you're putting your foot down?
Mm-hmm. And good.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, she doesn't need to do that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That OnlyFans is a very slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. You might be licking apple pie off of your friend's foot one day, and the next day it could be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And then what happens? Then Tamra calls Jenn, and she's on her way to meet Shannon, because Jenn is the one who encouraged her to go talk to Shannon and not be so hard on her. Because before they left Big Bear, Jenn sat down with her and said, listen, I'm glad that you and I are in a good place now. Like, I'm glad that we're there, but I see what you're doing to Shannon, and maybe you need to just talk to her. So when she's on her way to talk to her, she, calls up Jenn to let her know that, she's going to do it because she suggested it, which I'm glad that happened. But
yeah, I think it was good effort on Jenn's part.
Yes, absolutely. And then we see Tamra. Who does Tamra call? Tamra calls somebody.
Heather?
Is it Heather?
Or
I don't remember.
Emily?
Maybe. I don't remember. But she did call somebody to say that she was on her way to meet Shannon. I honestly, I don't remember who it was now.
I don't remember either. I tuned her.
So she also says, while she's talking to Jenn, that she kind of has animosity towards Shannon because she expected Shannon to reach out to her to have this conversation. And
Shannon said that.
Yeah, while she was talking to Jenn on the phone. And as soon as Shannon got there, she started with that. I was really hurt because I expected you to reach out to me.
Why would she reach out to you? You've been nothing but awful or horrid.
And that's exactly what Shannon said. She's like, what? That's surprising because you've been doing nothing but slandering me for the last several weeks. Like, why would I reach out to you?
Right.
You were horrible. You were horrible to me, yelling at me at Gina's party. But again, it's Tamra bringing it back to her.
Yes.
Because then Shannon goes on to, no, this is actually after she gets up because, all right, I have these notes here. So Shannon says to her, I don't have a drinking problem. I am aware. And Tamra says, you're aware of what? She's like, I'm aware that when I'm in difficult situations, I use alcohol for coping, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm aware. That's what I was doing. I'm not doing it. If I find it to be a problem, then I will address it. But that's not what's happening now.
Right, right.
And then she goes on to say, you know, listen, Tamra, I've seen you in compromising situations in the past. Right. And Tamra's comeback is, oh, did I drive my car through a house?
Like, what an asshole.
And I give Shannon a lot of credit.
Me too.
For getting up and walking away. I give her a lot of credit.
I might have lunged across the table.
Yeah.
I might have lunged.
You know what? If it was the opposite, Tamra would have.
100%.
Tamra definitely would have.
For sure.
But when she came at her like that,
she would have started screaming and gotten right in her face.
Mm-hmm. There's no need to come at her. That's all you keep doing is coming at her. And then Tamra asks the producers, you know, meanwhile, Shannon's in the bathroom crying to one producer, talking to one producer. And then Tamra's still sitting at the table and she's asked the one producer, like, where is she? Is she coming back? And he's like, well, she's in the restroom. And Tamra again says, well, is she getting a drink?
Yeah. I can't believe she said that. She's just such an asshole. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's all you got. That's all you got on her.
Yeah.
You can't have a mature intellectual conversation.
No.
Because that's all you got.
She can't. So then Shannon comes back to the table and the class act that she is apologizes for getting up and walking away, but explains that this is what she's learned to do to cope, to remove herself from the situation and take a minute. And that now she's surrounded herself with a small circle of people who really support her. And once again, Tamra makes it about herself. Well, I'm insulted. What about the 10 years I spent with you?
Right. That didn't mean anything to you?
That's not what she was saying.
It had nothing to do with that. That was so out of left field. And look at the way you're treating her now. Quite honestly, if I had a friend for 10 years who was there for me for 10 years, but then turned around and started treating me the way Tamra's treating Shannon, no, it doesn't mean anything now because now you're acting like a complete asshole.
Yep. But again, she's making it about her.
Yes.
What? No, she's telling you what's going on in her life and how she's coping with this horrible situation that she's been through.
Right.
And the only thing you hear is not the words that she said about herself. You hear, oh, what about the 10 years I was there for you? No.
Yeah, Tamra is not looking good this season at all. It's not a good season for her. And Alexis, she's just useless.
So then Shannon says to her, you know, it really hurt me when you were backing up Alexis at the dinner. And she's like, oh, you mean about the money? And she's like, yeah. And I guess that's when, but I don't think so, because I think Tamra knew already. That's when Tamra appears to find out that she's actually being sued.
Right.
And then
almost seems like she feels bad, which I don't believe either.
She does seem remorseful. I mean, I know that's like, as soon as she heard that, I did see a change in her face. I did see a change in her face. Like, because I mean, she wears it on her face. Like, she doesn't usually hide it. I did see that she was surprised, and I did think that she felt bad for her. I did. And then in the confessional, she tells us how she went through the same thing, her and Shannon, and they trauma bonded back in 2018 when Alexis's ex, Jim Bellino, sued them.
Yes.
And all the stress. Yes. And all the stress that is for 3 years that they went through. And she can imagine having to go through that again with the same person, Alexis.
Right.
With the same person. Right. So then she says, well, I'm having this thing at my house and I would like to invite you and Vicky. And Shannon is like, oh my God, thank you. And she gets up and she hugs her. And I thought, oh, poor Shannon. Like, Shannon really thinks that Tamra's going to be there for her. But
not only that, I don't think I would have gone if I were Shannon. And I know they're filming a show together, but I would have thought, like, fuck that. That's going to be an ambush. Because if Alexis is there, right, I don't know if I would have gone. Definitely wouldn't have gone if she didn't put the invite out there to Vicky too, but she did.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Shannon. I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg with what's going to continue to happen this season.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping she comes out on top. I really am.
Me too.
I'm Team Shannon all the way. I want her to win this one. Right?
Me too. Yeah. And I love that she has the support of Emily, Gina, and Heather. And I'm sure
Yes.
Katie too, but Katie's just not really in the mix yet. But
No,
I
she's
love that
not.
she's got the support of them, because I
Yes.
think that she really is showing, like you said, a vulnerable side of herself. And I think that up until now, she never really has. And I think that that's what Gina and Emily would get annoyed at.
Right.
And now they're seeing that and they're like, oh, all right, this is a Shannon we can get down with.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I'm Team Shannon. I'm rooting for her till the end, and I hope
Me too.
I hope that we see some good things.
Yeah.
On a side note, did you see that they changed the name of Jax's bar to Brits?
Now, was that a joke though? I thought that was a joke that she did with her friends.
I don't know if it was a joke. I really don't, because I saw the big lights. I mean, they had the shirts that said Brits. I don't know if it's a joke. I really don't. I'll be honest with you.
I did see he checked himself out to resume filming.
I saw that too, but I also read that according to production, it's up to Brittany whether or not he can come back. So that leads me to believe
You're kidding.
No, that leads me to believe that something very bad happened.
For sure.
And Brittany's holding the cards.
I really hope he didn't get physical with her. I think we would have heard about that by now.
Maybe not.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true or not. I literally just saw, I was not on my phone a lot today at all because I was at the salon and then took a nap, which is why I didn't reapply my makeup. But I very quickly saw an article that Melissa and Teresa agreed to squash their beef so that they can resume filming together.
No. Where? What?
It was on Facebook. What?
Come on.
I thought there's no way. There's no way. No. I mean, we just heard Melissa on, did she say it on 2Ts or was it Andy?
Yeah, it was on 2Ts.
She said it somewhere, like, it's done. It's over. It's done. And she basically said, it's not worth it to me to continue filming if she comes back. And I don't blame her at all. Like, you guys got a good thing, you and Joe. Your kids are beautiful, healthy. You know, I would miss her. I wouldn't, first of all, if Melissa doesn't come back, I don't want to watch the show. But the show's not worth it. The show's not worth it. I don't think. They got a beautiful family.
I don't think it's worth it
live
either.
Your life.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it either.
I didn't believe it either, but I saw it. I'll show you.
No way.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. But I would like to know about the Brittany and Jax name change.
Oh, for sure.
And it sounds like it is going to be a very good season. It sounds like
now Lala and Sheena are confirmed to be on the show, right?
Yeah, but they came on when Jax was in his facility. And he didn't want them on the show. So, that's going to be...
Maybe that's why Brittany's holding the cards.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
We knew they were going to join. They both bought houses in the valley.
Lala is getting her own show.
I saw that.
Yeah. Mama something?
Yeah.
Something.
By the way, Tess and I settled on Lala for when she has kids. That's what they're going to call me instead, because I said I wanted Kiki. And no offense to anyone out there named Kiki, because I absolutely love that name.
Mm-hmm.
But Tess said that it's a stripper's name, and she doesn't want her kids calling me that.
Okay.
I love it. But so we settled on Lala.
I like Lala.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you've got that worked out.
Yeah. I mean, listen, priorities, people. Priorities. But I wonder, so what is this show that Lala's getting about?
I think it's about her being a mom.
Oh, so it's like a reality show about her?
I think it's about being a single mom. I don't know exactly. I'll be quite honest with you, but it is her own show. She is getting her own show. And I don't actually even know if it's going to be on Bravo.
I was going to say, I don't think it's on Bravo because from the little bit I read about it, I didn't think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
I wish her nothing but the best. I like Lala. I like Sheena. I like Ariana. I don't like Katie.
Mm-hmm.
I could do without Katie.
I like Stassi.
Tracy Tudor. Oh, I love Stassi. She's getting her own show, right?
Yep.
Tracy Tudor was interviewed and said that she agreed with Lala about Ariana. Signed up to do a show. You're on a reality show. You have to participate in the reality show. You have to put it all out there. She agreed with Lala and her breaking the fourth wall at the end of the last episode. So that was like on a post somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Katie commented and wrote, "Shut up."
Really?
And then Ariana commented and put queen and the hands up to Katie's comment. You know, it's like people can have an opinion, Katie. You're not the only one who can have an opinion. It's probably why your marriage didn't work out. Well, not really.
Oh, that's the other thing I heard. Schwartz is going to be on next season of Summer House. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I thought so too.
I like that.
I don't think I do. I mean, I kind of like him.
No, I like Schwartz. I don't.
He could be entertaining. I feel like he might be too old, though.
I think he's too.
And then what? Like, they work in the city, and then they stay there on the weekends. What is he going
to... what's he doing during the week?
Right, exactly. Where's he going to be?
Right.
Is he going to fly out every weekend?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like there was something else with Summer House, and I can't remember.
Well, they did the, they're filming now, and they did the, like, soft open of Carl's sober.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I don't know what it was. I feel like there was something else with Summer House. But from what I understand, they're all coming back. Jesse, West, except Danielle, which is okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's fine. That's fine.
But I wonder who Lindsay's going to have as her, wing person.
Well, does she need one? She's pregnant.
I think Lindsay always needs one. I don't think, I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I guess until next time.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and listening to We Why Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Bye. Bye.